The tension between James Gunn and David Corenswet over the climactic, being human monologue in Superman is no secret anymore. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. After an intense offset discussion, Corenswet found clarity and delivered the take that now defines the film's emotional core. In the climax of the film, Corenswet's Superman confesses to Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, I get scared. I screw up all the time. But that's being human, and that's my greatest strength. The speech is the linchpin holding the film's message together. Superman's humanity is his superpower. The debate is settled in the court of public opinion. David Corenswet's interpretation of Superman's climactic monologue was wrong, and fans are firmly siding with director James Gunn. During the filming of Superman 2025, a behind-the-scenes video revealed an exchange between Gunn and Corenswet over how Clark Kent should deliver the emotionally charged, being human speech to Lex Luthor. The actor argued that the scene's power lay in quiet vulnerability, insisting, "Don't I feel better now that I've heard that thing, that really important moment that happened earlier with my adopted father? Didn't that make it better? Didn't that make me immune to this? Isn't that the whole point?" Gunn, however, pushed back. Vulnerability means showing hurt, not hiding it. "It's not wrong for you to feel that way," Gunn explained. "You should just be vulnerable." Which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt. Across social platforms, DC diehards praised the director's emotional clarity and leadership. Let's read a few comments. Superman 2025, the first official entry in James Gunn's newly minted DC universe, landed with both emotional weight and box office might. Released July 11th by Warner Bros., it has already soared to over $581 million worldwide and earned acclaim for its sincere tone and grounded performances. But now, with behind-the-scenes footage making the rounds, the fandom is rallying and it's mostly siding with Gunn. Critics applauded the earnest performances of Corenswet, Holt, and Rachel Brosnahan, while fans connected deeply with the film's fresh take on the Man of Steel's humanity. "I love both of their point of views on this, but I'm leaning on Gunn's. As he said, Superman's feelings are still lingering, so of course he would still sound hurt during his monologue, even though he does believe every word. And being hurt is being human." Tom Strong's adventures, a blend of pulp fiction and speculative science, often feature alternate timelines, cerebral conflicts, and rich mythos. Though not part of regular DC continuity, Gunn said he is grateful for the ways these comics have shaped our evolving DCU. As Superman continues to rake in praise and revenue, James Gunn is pulling back the curtain on what and who helped shape his bold new DC universe. In a post on Threads dated August 11, 2025, he surprised fans by citing a relatively unknown inspiration: Tom Strong, a science hero created by Alan Moore and Chris Sprouse in 1999 under DC's Wildstorm imprint. Meanwhile, Supergirl herself, Millie Alcock, is already teasing what's next. A newly surfaced behind-the-scenes image has fans speculating heavily about her solo project, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Her brief but electrifying appearance in Superman has sparked sky-high expectations, especially among comic purists. With Superman now solidified as a critical and financial success and a deeply personal story for both its director and lead actor, it's clear that creative disagreements, when handled with transparency and mutual respect, can forge cinematic gold. The future of the DCU may be less about power and more about heart. This revelation has ignited a renewed interest in Tom Strong comics, especially as fans note similarities between the hero's universe and Gunn's world-building approach in Superman. Without the red trunks, Superman's suit falls flat. James Gunn's design saves David Corenswet from Henry Cavill's stiff, trunkless Man of Steel look. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. But James Gunn's decision to restore the classic red trunks represents more than just a costume choice. It's a fundamental shift in how Superman should be perceived by audiences. While Zack Snyder's Man of Steel stripped away what he considered outdated elements, Gunn and Corenswet have embraced the inherent optimism and approachability that the traditional costume represents. The new Superman film, which launched with an impressive $122 million domestic box office total via Forbes, proves that audiences are ready for a Superman who doesn't shy away from his colorful, hopeful origins. David Corenswet's Superman suit just looks wrong without the red trunks. His version marks a return to tradition, after Henry Cavill and TV's Tyler Hoechlin skipped the costume's most debated feature, the bright red underpants. Here is how Corenswet's suit looked without it. Cavill's suit possessed an unnaturally stiff, almost architectural quality. It resembled protective armor or a ceremonial garment that existed independently of its owner. The Man of Steel costume controversy began long before Henry Cavill ever donned the cape, but his version also revealed a deeper design issue that extended far beyond the absence of red trunks. This rigid construction created a psychological barrier between Clark Kent and his superhero identity, making the transformation feel forced rather than organic. In the last big Superman adaptation, filmmaker Zack Snyder said the trunks couldn't make him look cool. His reasoning was rooted in a desire to modernize the character. Snyder told Yahoo Movies in 2013. "I did fight to keep them, but let's not forget that the red trunks are left over from Victorian-era strong men, who had to wear flesh-colored leotards and trunks over it so they didn't look naked. So I feel we've moved on a little bit." Cavill himself seemed to embrace this more adult approach to the costume. In 2011, soon after the first photo was revealed, the actor told Jay Leno, "Why wear underpants when you can be far more revealing?" However, the actor's perspective evolved over time. When asked about the trunks a decade later by Stephen Colbert, Cavill indicated he would don them if need be. Cavill said, via Facebook, "The costume retained its distinctive form even when empty, creating an unsettling impression that Superman was merely filling a mold rather than embodying the character naturally." James Gunn's approach to Superman's costume represents a complete philosophical reversal from the Snyder era. Initially, Gunn admitted he was on the no trunks team for a long time. "I really loved my suit. I thought it was pretty cool. However, if it were to happen again, I would definitely be open to the idea of adding the trunks in some way, shape, or form." The trunk debate isn't new to Superman productions. That actor George Reeves reportedly said, via New York Magazine, "I'm getting a little too old to be running around in my underwear," toward the end of production on The Adventures of Superman in the 1950s. Even Christopher Reeve's iconic 1978 costume sparked behind-the-scenes discussions about Superman's anatomy, with costume considerations that became legendary Hollywood lore. The fabric responds to his body language, creating an authentic transformation where the person and the symbol merge seamlessly. The restored red trunks serve a dual purpose. They provide essential visual separation that prevents the monotonous blue mass effect while ensuring the costume appears as genuine clothing rather than a rigid external shell. Gunn continued. However, it was David Corenswet himself who convinced the director to embrace the traditional design. Gunn explained to Gizmodo in December 2024, "We were trying on all these different versions, and we tested with trunks and no trunks, and one of the things David said is that Superman wants kids to not be afraid of him. He's an alien. He's got these incredible powers. He shoots beams out of his eyes. He's this incredibly powerful, could be considered scary, individual, and he wants people to like him. He wants to be a symbol of hope and positivity." Corenswet's